NBC. This is the CAN TV Channel 21, and you're here for Black Star Still Rising. And I'm your host and producer, Stephen Black Butterfly Carter, and I got an exciting program for you today. I'm going to be introducing my guest, which is Miss Phyllis Rodgers, and that's with a D. And we'll be talking to Phyllis a little bit more, but there's so many things I want to catch you up on. And Phyllis is going to have a good time sharing things with her and her program. And I'm going to be with you in a moment, but I've got so many shout outs to do. It's going to take a little part of this program. And the reason that you haven't seen me in the last few weeks is I just got a knee replacement. Not only a knee replacement, but I had some things dealing with my cancer. And we're going to talk about cancer survivors and things that I have coming up. But let me start to give the shout outs to all the folks who have made it possible for me to come back and be on this show today. And we got to start out with Dr. Linda Suleiman. Dr. Suleiman, and the beauty of Dr. Suleiman, besides being a orthopedic surgeon, she's a HBCU graduate, came out of Howard University, did medical school there, and one of the things that she shared with me before she started operating on my knee was that her experience at Howard was one of the most marvelous college experiences that she had. And I can see why, because she became the person at Northwestern Hospital to install the robotic surgery department at Northwestern Hospital. Hey, we're talking about an HBCU graduate, Howard University. She installed the robotic surgery department at Northwestern Hospital. So I got to give a shout out to Dr. Linda Suleiman. I could not be here without my physical therapist, and that was Miss Johnson, the physical therapist that made me do all the hard work necessary to get through and be able to walk to the program today from the parking lot here. Also, the nurse, Miss Clarissa Gamble. Thank you two ladies for getting me this far over these past 3 weeks. Got to give a shout out for my pre and post operative things. A shout out to Jean Freeney Campbell, who was there to help me through the surgery and after the surgery. But she was that person. I didn't know how to give myself a shot to stick a needle in my stomach, in my tummy. That was something I had to get used to, but she showed me how to do it. And also her sister, Gloria Smith, the executive director of the Black Star Project. She was there bringing groceries and soup and all the things that made it possible for a person to get through the pro-operative stage of what I had to go through. Could not have done it without my frat brothers. I didn't realize 65 years ago that my frat brother, a few of them, I'm talking about Larry Holloway, who was there to take me anywhere, any time of day and night, 4 o'clock in the morning, taking me out for some procedures that dealt with my cancer. 4 o'clock in the morning, take me out to Des Plaines. Wow. Can't beat that. We have also Othel Owen, who was there for me 22 years, almost 25 years of being a member of Alpha Phi Alpha and getting me through. We also have Nathan Kirkwood, another frat brother made with me back in 1960, July 30th, 1960. And we've got 65 years coming up in a couple of months. And then there was also Dr. Mike Washington, who has been there for me through this recuperation period, through this rehab period, and did some extraordinary things. Besides being a guest and talking about dementia and his experience with dementia with family, Dr. Mike was there for me. Shout out also to Sharon Cy Lewis, who was there for me to help me and her mom talking about their experiences with both pain management and also with surgery and knee replacement. I think I hit most of the things. Without any doubt, I have to give a shout out to Imani Payne, our studio producer. Imani makes sure that with my weeks off, waves Imani at the folks know, she made it possible for me to come back with our guest today. She and Rocio, who's in doing duty at Studio A, they made sure there was a time slot for me with the support of the Executive Director of KNTV, Mr. Darius Hillman. Thank you all for making it possible for me to be back after 3 weeks of absence and coming today with this guest of Phyllis Rodgers. Tell us about your program, Phyllis. I did enough talking. I did enough shout-outs today. This is exciting to have you. We don't have anybody that's dull in these programs.
Well, thank you.
Please be yourself and tell us a little bit about your program.
Sure. Oh, okay. Absolutely. And thank you for having me. And I'm happy to know that you're feeling better.
Ooh,
and that you had a village to help you through.
I had the village. That's
village.
Important. Okay.
Right, you had the village. And the one thing about the village, you had a lot of men that help you because sometimes it's difficult.
We got to get used to doing that.
We got to get used to doing that.
Bruce is a good example of that. He knows that. Okay,
he knows how to do that.
Bruce is your wonderful husband I met just before the broadcast.
Yeah.
Wave at Bruce. Bruce.
There you go.
There you go. Wave back at us. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Tell us about your program.
Well, thank you. Thank you. As he said, my name is Phyllis Rodgers. I'm the founder and CEO of Peer Plus Education and Training Advocate. We are a registered nonprofit in the state of Illinois. And Peer Plus has had the privilege of working within the community for the past 23 years.
But you got to say one other thing, too.
Yeah.
It started with $75.
$75 in my pocket.
$75 with you, family, friends. Tell us what happened there, how you got the inspiration for it.
That $75 was between me and two of my good girlfriends.
Okay.
And my one good girlfriend had, her sister was working for an attorney.
Okay.
And he met with us and walked us through the process of what it would be to start a nonprofit. And we knew that it would be hard. In his conversation with us, the young lady that was his employee, he gave her that challenge to learn how to put together nonprofits. So we were her first clients. To put through an actual 501c3. So
divine providence at work, huh?
Absolutely. It was all right there under our nose. And he didn't charge us, but we paid the young lady to do that. And she's still with me to this day.
23 years
23
later.
years later. If there's anything that I am in need of, I will call her and say, I'm not clear about this. And she does the research.
And you made the differentiation between, to me, you said, she's not just a volunteer. She's an ambassador.
Actually, ambassadors. I don't call them volunteers.
Because volunteers have said to you, how much does we get paid?
Absolutely. Volunteer wants to know how much they're getting paid. But she's an ambassador.
Yes.
I call them all ambassadors now because we carry the word. We carry the word to community. And I'm going to carry the word today, even though I'm the founder. I can work in that area of an ambassador when needed.
Well, talk about the mission of your program.
Oh, absolutely.
And how that came to you, what made you start. Okay.
What we started to do is when we sat and talked about how to pull this mission together, we wanted to make sure that we had resources for everyone as much as we knew how. Resources are changing at any given time. We did not want to leave anyone out of the resources that we have. And so we started to do work in the community, and we let the community help us to design what our mission was.
Based upon their needs, and there were probably a variety.
Absolutely.
Talk about how you got into HIV.
Yes, yeah, I worked in HIV, oh my God, for 20 years. I come from a banking institution that had went under, and I had a family member that was employed at county at that time. As we know now, it is John H. Stroger. But I applied for a position, and I was hired, and I began to work in a case management status.
Okay.
What was that? That was we were bringing in new people that were HIV positive and putting them through the services and the systems.
Was that
to make
in the
sure
early stages of
that was in the
HIV?
very
Nobody
early-
knew much.
They were still figuring
Okay.
it out.
Yeah.
It was still being figured
Yes.
out. That's when the one medication that they had was AZT.
AZT, okay.
That was AZT. That's the only medicine that we knew about, at that particular time. But that was my start to work in the social service area to understand. I came from a banking institution. So I had worked with people.
Which bank, if I may ask?
You know
back
what?
then?
I was at the old Continental Bank, the big bank with a little bank inside.
I was the first black banker in the little bank inside.
Wow.
First black. I was the first manager, and when they started the charge card program.
Okay.
Back
I
then.
worked in charge card.
Did you?
I worked in
Town and
Master Charge, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Town and Country back then.
Absolutely.
We didn't know we had all this background.
We did not know, but you know, 6 degrees
we were
of
first,
separation.
first Negroes.
Yeah.
Wasn't black then. We were first Negroes. But go ahead.
Well, you know what? We can talk about that
Yeah,
a little
right.
bit later because those stories could take 2 days.
That's right.
But anyway, that we knew the need to be able to bring education to the community in a different kind of understanding. And we didn't want to talk over, we didn't want to talk under, we wanted to talk with.
You had to
Because we
engage.
are the people.
Okay.
We are the people that we serve. We're no
Yes.
different.
Yes.
We're no different than anyone. So we wanted to make sure that they understood those resources and how they were available to them and to show them how to access those services.
Let me just stop you for a quick
Yes.
moment. I forgot to tell you folks, get your pencil and paper out. We're going to give you some phone numbers.
Absolutely.
So that you can call and find out about resources. You want to call and talk to Phyllis
Yes.
about some of the things that you may be interested in, or you have a friend, relative that you know needs resources. Phyllis, give us that phone number to call.
Thank you. That number is 312
312
914
914
1186.
1186. We're going to come
Or-
back to that. Okay, what's the
Or the email. I always feel
Hey.
like you can email me because I live off of email.
And I
Also-
live off of text. But we can do both.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be either or, does it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we have to be able to meet the needs of the community and where they are.
Okay.
Not everyone understands how to navigate,
Right.
working on a computer or, their laptop or whatever social media piece that they have. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them. So that number is 312-914-1186. And feel free to call me and I will answer, leave a
Now,
message.
so
Yeah.
what happens is it kind of somebody calls you. Is it kind of a triage kind of situation that you, from talking to them, you find? Tell us what the process
Absolutely.
is.
Well, that triage really, that'll bring me to this piece. We are the support, the services, and resources. So we're the bridge. Peer Plus is the bridge.
You connect.
So, and we're going to connect you to your long-term services.
Okay.
We can help you or direct you to something short-term, but in most cases, a person will need something a little bit more long-term.
So you clarify
We clarify
what it is.
Absolutely.
And then you get into the heart and start walking them.
We walk them through the process to get to the next steps of services. I have a resource book like this, and everything
bet
else
it's
is in
like
my own. Look, I just picked up another resource.
Right,
You know,
just
with
sort of
me
waiting in the
on
green
way.
room,
Just
right,
introduce
right.
myself, so we have another resource. So we want to make sure that they understand the resources that are available to them. But we teach them, be patient in getting these resources, because what happens now is you don't have a voice.
Oh, that's another thing to talk
That's
about.
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Mm-hmm.
you don't have a voice all the time. You have to hit 1 or you have to hit 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some people still have a little flip phone.
I know a few
Things that-
people like that.
Yeah.
One of
And
my
a lot
brothers I
of-
was talking about. But anyway.
And some of the things they cannot access. So while I'm working with them, I'm on the computer.
I mean, you're listening to somebody on
I'm
the phone.
listening to
You
them.
got your
I
laptop
got
or
my
your
laptop.
tablet and you banging away.
And I'm banging away, to make sure that that information is there. If there's a third person on the phone, I want for them to make sure that they've given permission for me to be there, because they possibly going to ask questions that I cannot answer. So there's a lot of things about people. I mean, they call me, someone wants something instant, like today. I'll tell you this. I got a phone call from a gentleman that we had helped
Okay.
some time ago, story, and he had a friend that needed some assistance.
Okay.
And only thing I could say is I need to talk with her so I could see what support we can provide.
Okay.
So that third person there, it makes a big difference on how we can navigate you to the system for women, navigate this to the system to men, or for single women with children, or to our veterans, and don't forget our homeless population.
What's some of the most frequently asked questions or things that come up that people you see in this day and age need service on? What are some of the most critical things that you see?
Well, now some of the most critical with the new climate that we're all experiencing right now is housing.
Housing.
Housing, yeah, housing
Rental?
or
Okay.
rental
Okay.
assistance.
Yes.
People have lost jobs.
Oh, my
People
goodness.
have lost, work. So you have a single mother that may have 3 children, and she's applied for SNAP or other services, but they haven't come through yet. So we do something short term. I have a resource of books. Resources of pantries that they can't access. To try to get food, and that, or I'll put them in touch with a church that I know is going to get food today from 5 to 7.
One thing that people are not acknowledging or recognizing is that with all these folks that are being laid off in these government jobs,
Yes.
it's not just that one person.
Right.
There are 3, 4 other people that are being affected by that. So the numbers are off.
Absolutely.
If I get laid off from my job at the government, there's probably 2, 3 other people that are unemployed in one sense or without an income stream, and that's not being addressed.
Not at all. Well, just think like during COVID.
Yes.
The people that was still able to stay in job, those were service people.
Right, right.
And there was a high demand in some areas at that time, but that's dwindling out now. So these are some of the service people, single moms that don't have the funds, to put food on the table. So we want to suggest to them, it's okay to go to, there are pantries that are operating every day.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the
And
week.
you got to access.
And you just have to know where to go. Fine, if you go here, maybe you can get your eggs. Maybe you have to go someplace else to get your milk or those other personal
You're
items.
a walking encyclopedia.
Absolutely, that's what they call me, the walking internet.
Oh, boy. That's not a bad thing to do. It used to be all in a little black book, a little notebook or something.
It's up here.
It's up there and
It's
in
up
your
here.
laptop.
And in my laptop and in my resource binders. Yes, I can flip through and give it to you.
It's my custom is to, in interviewing a guest, they tell me some interesting stories about either their program. Tell me one of those stories, a couple of stories that kind of reflect and will resonate with our viewers today about services that you provided and how. Tell me how that happened.
Okay. Here's what
You told me one.
I will tell you one. There's a single mom that we started working with probably in late 2023.
Okay.
And we're still working with her to now. Up to now. She lost everything.
Single mom.
Single mom, 3
Lost
children.
everything. Three children. Okay.
3 children.
That's the background.
3 children. Single mom, 3 children. And so the big story with this is one of my ambassadors was getting ready to move. So what she did was to help the single mom and her children. She donated to this mom everything that she had, and she slept on the floor up until it was time for her to move. We linked this single mom with a pantry that was able to give her enough food to carry her and her children once she got connected. She could go to the pantry weekly. She had a baby that was a little bit more than a year old. She needed supplies.
Yes.
She needed milk. She needed
Diapers.
Pampers. She
Okay.
needed diapers.
Formula. Okay.
And out of that, she had a special needs child.
Oh, that complicates it
That
more.
complicated everything because she had a special needs child. We helped her with employment, but it could not work because of the hours of where the special needs child needed to be based versus where the other children trying to go to school. So that was a big bang hitting us back and forth. We spent a lot of time with this single mama, but you know what? We got it all taken care of. I'm really proud of that we
You
were
should
able to get.
be.
Yeah,
Should be
we were proud.
satisfied.
Yeah.
We're going to jump to a very important program that you have coming up, dealing
Yes.
with cancer on National Cancer.
Absolutely.
Tell us about
Thank
that
you.
program that's
Thank
coming
you.
up.
This year happens to be the 38th year anniversary for National Cancer Survivors Day that is being celebrated all around the country.
How many people in this room are cancer survivors?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think it's 2.
It's 2.
You,
Mm-hmm.
me,
There you go.
prostate cancer,
Yeah. Colon.
bladder cancer.
Yeah.
We got some good doctors. Dr. Gomez and his team have gotten me, and I'm doing some things now to make sure cancer stays away from my door.
And that's what we want.
What happened
We want
with
it.
you?
So on the June 1st will mark 38 years for National Cancer Survivors Day, but it's my 8th year participating.
Okay.
So what we're doing is
Participating as an individual or as an organization?
As an organization, thank you.
Okay.
As an organization. So we're going to bring resources to the community on June 1st and celebrate that day.
Give us that phone number while they think about it.
312
312
914
914
1186.
1186. Now,
Yes.
remember, part of this is Viva Voce. You got to pass it on.
Yes.
You may not be the cancer survivor, but I bet everybody who's watching today
Know someone.
has a friend, family, etc. Pass this information. Don't keep it to yourself.
Don't
Tell us
hold it.
who is going to be
Oh,
speaking.
wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
We're ready for this.
We're
All right,
ready
go
for
ahead.
this. A couple of years ago, some years ago, probably about 8 years ago, I had the privilege of being invited to a luncheon with the family of Henrietta Lacks.
Now tell us, a lot of folks may not have known about Henrietta Lacks and
Absolutely.
her effect on society.
Her effect-
Black woman. Okay, go ahead.
Black woman with cervical cancer that died in 1951 at the age of 31.
Okay.
They used her cells that continued to multiply. So a lot
And
of
they is who?
Johns Hopkins.
Oh, you mean this one of the best hospitals in
One
the
of the best
country,
hospitals in
and
the
they
country.
use her
The
cells.
that continue to multiply.
Okay.
That continue to multiply. Well, we're going to talk about that because there's so many people, they hear that name, but in being busy, they haven't done the research to know more about that family. So,
Tell us a little bit about it, yeah.
Well, June 1st, we're going to bring in her grandson,
Grandson.
Alfred Lax Carter Jr. will be with us at Bordeaux Design Gallery June 1st from
June
3
1st.
to 7 p.m.
What's the address of that?
That is 8237 South Princeton on the south side of
On the south,
Chicago.
okay.
If you're not looking for it, you'll miss it.
That's right. You pass right by.
You will pass right
Right.
by it. But I can tell you, once you come through that Princeton
Mm-hmm.
there and you see this big black building and you're, what is
Where
this?
did
But
this come-
once you
Yes.
walk inside, and it's on the south side of Chicago
Right.
in our community, which is really important, to me and for others that are working along with me. So we're going to have a conversation that's going to feel like a podcast, similar to
Okay.
what you and I are doing now with a Q&A from the audience to be able to ask Alfred Lax Jr., Alfred Lax Carter Jr., Mr. Carter,
I could get the
you know,
Carter.
any questions that he would have to share about his grandmother. Now, you may want to go back and Google the Henrietta Lacks story. Oprah did the movie some years ago.
Okay.
If you go right in
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube, it's right there. It's going to take you to it. It is an exceptional story. And I think it's important that we know who this woman was and what's happening now to the day that we speak. Because this family was in pain because they were never compensated for what went on
For that.
for that.
And
yeah.
monies was made by
Monies
a
were
lot
made.
of folks.
Absolutely, by a
Can,
lot
can
of
I
folks.
take this one
Sure.
brief moment?
Absolutely.
In the shout-outs today, one of the major shout-outs that were part of the village that helped me out is the King family. Paul, Loanne, and Tim King. And Tim King made part of my rehabilitation pleasurable because he baked some of his famous King brownies. And I have to admit, I ate most of the whole thing by myself. I shouldn't have been doing it, but I got to give my shout out to the King clan, Paul, Loanne, and Timmy. Thank you so much for that. Give us some phone numbers again.
Hi, Phyllis Rodgers, 312-914-1186. Or visit PEER, P-E-E-R, plus P-L-U-S, cares.org.
How can they be a
Cares.
volunteer with you?
You know what? Just give me a call and let's talk about it because
Do a
we
jingle
want to see
jangle.
where you fit.
Okay.
We want to see
You're
where
gonna
you fit.
fit in. You fit in someplace.
Absolutely.
Because we got skill sets out
We
there.
have skill sets, and that's what we need to continue to flourish because we want to go for another 5, 6 more years or longer.
Okay. And we got to pass this information. Viva voce, pass it on. That's how we did back in the day, and we still can do that.
Absolutely.
Pass the information on.
Absolutely. We need you to pass it on. We need you to be a part of who
Okay.
we are. We are your support, your services, and resources. We are what? The bridge.
The bridge.
We are the bridge to support.
You think I can get you to come back again?
Absolutely. Why not?
Because I know there will be more things. Wait a minute. You told me you have about 88 events over a year. Tell me about that.
We did 88 events last year with our partners. Now, we host 5 major events.
Okay.
But when we total out for our reporting at the end of the year, we had been involved in over 88 events. We have
Your
6
funders
events
should
now.
love you.
They love us. We have
Yes.
6 events lined up right now for Juneteenth.
Tell us about some of the events. Quickly, we only got about 30 seconds.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah.
Our major events are Black History Month,
Okay.
Minority Health Month,
Okay.
Colorectal Cancer Month,
Amen.
Women and Girls,
Women and Girls.
and then we do National Cancer Survivors Day, which is Sunday, June 1st. Sunday, June 1st.
And hey, how many cancer survivors have we got out there besides us? All right. I want you to pass that information on. It's vital that this information gets out to the public. So don't be hesitating.
Thank you.
Phyllis, thank you,
Thank you.
for being with us. Look at our camera. Wave at it. All right. Wave back, folks. Glad to have you. I'm feeling good being back on board. I'll be able to throw this cane away very soon. See this? I'm going to throw it out the door. All because I got Dr. Suleiman did that surgery on me. Thank you for being back and sticking with me today.